Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and we have the Q&A video today. That rhymed. So you guys asked me some questions in the Discord. I'm gonna go ahead and answer it on today's video. So if you haven't joined the Discord already, a link will be in the description down below. Join the Discord so you can join in on things like this and giveaways that we're doing, and discuss games with like-minded people. Also, I should be going live later today. That should be tons of fun. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Turn that notification bell on if you haven't already, so you can get notified when I do go live and join in on that. Always a good time with you guys. But anyways, I wanted to do this video for a Q&A because I haven't done the best job of letting you guys know who I am. I mentioned this in my last video, but I'm a private person by nature, and I think you guys deserve much more. Especially all the support you give me, everything that you guys do for the channel and for myself. I think at the very least you deserve to know who I am and get a little more insight in my life. So I'm gonna go ahead and answer these questions today. Now, I'll be 100% transparent. I did take a little peek at them, so I'm a little nervous, but it should be a good time nonetheless. So I do hope you enjoy. I hope you like the video today. Let's go ahead and let's jump straight into it. So we have Karki Kok, and thank you everybody that went ahead and asked questions and joined in on this. I do truly appreciate it. It means a lot to me. So Karki Kok, and if I'm saying this wrong, I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Karki goes on to state, have you already done a face reveal? There you go. Moving on to the legend Calvin. Thank you, Calvin. Have you considered trying to stream on Twitch? Calvin asked this question a couple of times already. No, I haven't. Well, I considered it. I haven't tried it yet. And I probably will in the future for other obscure games that I won't put on the channel. Like fighting games and things like that. Those are other games that I'm into. So maybe we'll see, Calvin. We'll see. I'm still thinking about that. Moving on to Sage. How are you, Cody? I'm doing well, man. How are you doing? Hopefully you're doing all right. We're off to a tremendous start. No, I appreciate you guys. Flower Lady Rose went ahead and asked, Cody, out of all the male characters, who do you like and why? Same for the female characters as well. I'm going to assume you're talking about Genshin Impact. I'm not sure because you asked for male characters. So I'm going to assume you're talking about Genshin Impact. And for the male characters, I would have to go with Zhongli. He's just a really cool character. I love his voice actor, especially for the English voice actor. Really awesome. You guys actually let me know on the stream that the English voice actor for Zhongli is the same one for Ladybug, the show that my son watches, which I found that to be really funny. But I would have to say Zhongli. He's dripped out to the max. My little avatar, mini Cody with the drip, I think you're over there, is Zhongli with the alternate Archon outfit. So yeah, I would have to say Zhongli. He's just a really cool character. I love his lore, love him being an Archon. I love his voice actor, love his looks. So yeah, I have to go with that. For the female characters, I would have to say Hu Tao, just because of her personality, how cool she really is, how extremely strong she is, her character design as well. Her quirkiness, I love all of that. So I would have to say Hu Tao, but Jean is really close. Jean is my baby girl. Jean is my waifu. I love Jean, and possibly Eula now. Eula's really cool as well. So there you go. Thank you, Flower Lady, for the question. Moving on from there, we have Salt and Pepper. Are you going to give us a video tour of your teapot in the future? Probably not. I had grand plans for the teapot, but knowing myself, I'm not big into, and I'm not super creative as well when it comes to building things like city builders and stuff like that, and I never really been into it too much. So I thought I was gonna really be into this one, and I was at the beginning, but it's just never really been my thing. And I just honestly do not have the time. I barely have time to play the game, so to be able to like focus on that as well, it's just not in me. Like, if you've seen my Honkai dorm, I haven't touched that in years, so it's just not really my thing. So I could show you it, but it wouldn't be much to look at. So yeah, it just wouldn't be worth it. Jimmy Z, what's going on, Jimmy? He goes and asks, Cody, how did all this start? I'm so new here. I found this because some of your Honkai videos as I started to play for the Evangelion event, but you seem to have been at this so much longer. I'd love to learn about all the things I missed along the way. That's a great question, Jimmy, and it's really hard for me to answer. So how did this all start? That's a great question. So just to give you guys a quick backstory, I've been playing games for as long as I can remember, since I was really little. I've been playing video games for a really long time, and it's something that I've always been into, always something that I enjoy doing. I really started out playing sports games, like Madden was a big thing. Then moved over to games like Halo was a big part of my life at one point in time as well. But I don't know if some of you can relate or understand, but as you get older, the gaming with people like in person, that kind of goes away, right? And then you're kind of just gaming by yourself. And that's what happened to me. I was gaming by myself, and then I found gacha games like Dokkan, Blazing, Honkai, and I was playing those games on my mobile device, and I was playing them by myself. And I mean, that was fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but I would watch YouTube videos to get more tips, more tricks, but also I enjoyed watching YouTube videos. I enjoy watching people playing games that I play also, just kind of relate and to kind of connect in a way. And then I was watching those videos a lot. I was watching those videos a ton, and my now girlfriend went ahead and suggested, why don't I try and do some videos and, you know, create a small community. And that's how it all started. I just one day decided, you know what, that's a great idea, why not, let's do it.
Boys, we are doing it. Hey everybody, it's Cody GT coming at you with the Blazing video, and I wanted to do a quick video on Phantom Castle as it is about to go away, and I'm just grinding the last 5 floors out, and hopefully I could just get them done before it goes away.
And the channel started as a way to connect with people on similar interests. It started with Dokkan. I played Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, which is still, surprisingly, still super successful. I started doing that first, and I also did, around the same time, was doing Blazing, Naruto Blazing, which is no longer a thing anymore. That game shut down. As a way to connect with people on games that I enjoyed playing, to be able to, you know, be able to discuss games and hang out and really just connect with people in a sense, and not be playing the game just by myself. So, and to forge a little community, and nothing, I had no grand plans. It was just something that, you know, I was playing the games by myself. I figured, why not try and connect with other people playing the same games. And that's basically how it started. And then Honkai came, or I got introduced to Honkai, and then Honkai kind of just took over from there. But that's basically how the channel started in a sense. And then Jimmy also asked, how do you prefer your popcorn? Such a odd question. With butter, salt, M&M's, so much can be revealed by a person prefers their popcorn. So I like it with butter. Salt, yeah, you can throw some salt in there. M&M's, I've never tried M&M's. I never even thought about trying M&M's in my popcorn, so that's very interesting. But I always thought about trying the cookies and cream bar in the popcorn. I thought that might be really good, but messy at the same time, so I never did it. But if you ask me, just butter and salt's perfectly fine with me. Thank you, Jimmy. Moving over to Blanc Nuit. He goes on to state, Cody, besides gacha and RPG games, what other kind of games do you enjoy playing? That's a great question, Nuit, and thank you so much for asking that. So, like I mentioned, gacha is what I started with. It's what I'm still currently doing right now. And I love RPG games, but I also play fighting games. I played the Guilty Gear Strive beta. That was tons of fun. I played a little bit of Fighters. I played a little bit of Shinobi Striker. I'm really looking forward to that Demon Slayer game that's going to be coming out. I'm not exactly sure when. I think it's this year. Super excited about that. I play looter shooters as well, so I was massively into Anthem. Was a big part of my life. Anthem was tons of fun. I didn't get into Division 2. Wasn't huge into that. I played a little bit of Outriders. So I'm into a lot of different games. I play Call of Duty, like I mentioned before. I played Halo in the past, was a big part of my life also. But I'm into other games as well, like Control, Ghost of Tsushima was a massive part of my life as well. That was tons of fun. So I have an array of different games, and that's something that I wanted to go ahead and start introducing on the channel as well, are different games. And I think that's the direction that I want to start taking the channel. Genshin Impact will always be here. Honkai Impact, for the most part, will always be here. But I want to start moving into other games as well. More like AAA titles, like Biomutant I started to introduce on the channel. I also want to introduce Scarlet Nexus when that comes out, which is coming out relatively soon. I want to start doing content on that. So there are other games that I want to start bringing, because as good as Genshin Impact is and Honkai Impact is, I'm starting to lean a little more away from gacha per se. Like, it's perfectly fine, but I want to start getting more into AAA titles, like Biomutant, like Scarlet Nexus, and others that will be coming out, and start introducing an array of different games. I don't want to be tied down to one specific game. I don't want to be tied down to making the same type of content, like talking about artifacts and talking about, you know, just the same talents. It's just I'm not so much into talking about the like informative stuff anymore, albeit that's great and it helps people out. It's just, for me, so repetitive and not something that I really want to do. I want to get more into like showing gameplay. I want to get more into playing the game with you guys, almost like gameplays or playthroughs in a sense, and you guys just come along with me on the journey, and we enjoy it together, the game, and we play the game together and have tons of fun. I think that's the way I want to start going with the channel. And you know, like I mentioned, the Genshin Impact and Honkai Impact, they'll still be there, but it just may not be as much of the informative stuff, and maybe just more gameplay, maybe just pull videos, just discussing hype things when it drops, and start moving more towards like AAA titles and playthroughs and stuff like that. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, but I think that's the direction that I want to start going with the channel. But thank you so much, Nuit, for that. I appreciate the question, my man. Oh, we got Salt and Peppa back. Salt and Peppa, what's going on? If you could have any Genshin character join Super Smash Bros. Oh, that was another major game. Super Smash Bros. 64 was something I was into massively. Anyways, join Super Smash Bros. Who would it be and why? Man, that's a great question. If I was to have a character join Super Smash, probably Xiao. I think Xiao would be a really cool character in Super Smash because he's so aggressive. The way he moves, his elemental burst in the game. I could see Xiao being in Super Smash Bros. And it being a hit. So, or Zhongli. Yeah, I get, just because I could see, or Diluc. Actually, I could see Diluc being in. I could see Child being in there as well. Tartaglia. Yeah, I could see any one of those characters being in there. And I think it would be super hype as well. I think it'd be tons of fun. Yeah, that's a really good question. And then Ocean Starch goes ahead and asks, do you plan on just staying revolved around Genshin/Honkai, or would you ever branch out to other games like a variety channel? Also, have you heard of Omari? Sorry if this has already been asked. So no problem, Ocean Starch. So I did go ahead and answer that basically by asking or answering Nuit's question. Yeah, I definitely, I don't know if I would say a variety channel per se, but I want to introduce games that I am excited for. Like Lost Soul aside, I saw gameplay for that. That would be a game I would like to introduce to the channel. Forspoken is another one that I actually went ahead and did content on my second channel that I think I'm just going to do it on my main channel. I created the second channel for those AAA titles and playing those other games that were not Genshin or Honkai, but I'm thinking I just want to do it on the main channel and focus on the main channel with those other games and play those other games with you. And yeah, definitely I noticed that I don't want to be tied down to just Genshin or just Honkai. I want this channel to be introducing games that I'm excited for, that I'm actively playing, and that are closely related, right? It's not like I'm going to be playing anything super obscure. Like, I'm not going to introduce like a traditional fighting game necessarily. That Demon Slayer's it's kind of right there, right, anime kind of, but I mean like Call of Duty, like first person shooters and things like that. It would be things that I would think you would be interested in by playing Genshin and playing Honkai, you know, an action RPG, role-playing game, open world. Those are things that I love to play. That's why I like Genshin, that's why I like Honkai. So games like Biomutant, games like Scarlet Nexus are very closely related and are games that I'm excited for, that I think you guys would like as well. I mean, at least some of you, not all of you, of course, but I would introduce games that are very similar to each other and not too far off, and I think that you guys would enjoy. But games that I also want to share with you guys and enjoy with you as well, because like I mentioned, I just don't want to talk about informative stuff. It's not really my thing. Like I like doing tips, I like doing tricks, I like doing guides, but I'm not too much the informative one in the sense of like breaking down best in slot, mathematical. I'm not a huge math guy, so, you know, artifacts, substats, the percentage, what's going to work best. Like, I can give you a general, you know, what I think and a general consensus on what I believe, but for the most part, I just want to play the game, and I want to play the game with you guys, maybe give you some information on it, but have fun at the same time, and just kind of do playthroughs and gameplays. And, you know, if there's something that I think is important for you guys to know, obviously do a video on it, but I basically just want to play games that I'm excited about with you guys as well. So yeah, definitely Ocean Stars, definitely want to branch out and do other games and not be just tied down to one or two games. 100%. Rolling Marble. If you had to pick and choose between reaching 1 million subscribers or getting a $10,000 donation, which one will it be and why? That's a super good question, and I'll tell you right off the bat, 1 million subscribers. And it's not to have 1 million subscribers per se, but if it's between that or getting a $10,000 donation, having 1 million subscribers will allow you to net more than just a, you know, $10,000. You'll be able to net much more income than just $10,000. So having 1 million subscribers to me is much more valuable, and long term is much better to have than just a $10,000 donation, be a one-time thing. With 1 million subscribers, you can have that income come in on a monthly basis, and so yeah, it would just be more lucrative. But having 1 million subscribers would be incredible. It would be incredible in the sense of the type of community we would have built, the type of community we would have, the family atmosphere that would be there with having 1 million subscribers. It would just be mind-blowing. So yeah, that's what I would go for, is 1 million subscribers over the $10,000 donation. 100%. Thank you, Marble. Supreme, what's going on? If you currently wearing a hat, can you do this face? I can't do that face. I am currently wearing the hat, but I can't do that face, my man. I'm so sorry. I can't. I can't do that face. No. Thank you though, Johnny. I appreciate it. Gene, besides streaming and having an online platform, what other job or other form of income would you choose besides YouTube, and or what would you have chosen to work as? So what's funny is that streaming and YouTubing is basically a hobby or a passion of mine. It's a side thing that I do. I actually have a full-time job that I do currently as my main source of income. So this is just a hobby, a passion of mine, what I enjoy doing on the side. But it's not what I want to be doing. My main source of income is not what I want to be doing. So like, if I had a choice of what I want to be doing outside of YouTube, that's a good question, man. You know, as a police officer, or as like a firefighter, or, you know, maybe in the real estate, possibly. I've always been interested in investments and investment properties, so maybe along those lines, like a firefighter or a police officer, or like a real estate investor, like somewhere along those lines. I never really gave it too much thought. Or maybe back to personal training. I don't know. Maybe one of those things. But thank you, Gene. I appreciate it. A taco. I appreciate it. I probably butchered your name. I'm so sorry. Do you like milk, or are you lactose intolerant? So I'm not a huge fan of milk. I'm not lactose intolerant, but I'm not a huge fan of milk. It's not really my preference. It's not like something that I go to. Yeah, I never just go ahead and pour a glass of milk. It's just not something that I do. So thank you for the question, though. Yeah, but I'm not lactose intolerant either. The Archon Collector, what is going on? Hey, Cody, do you think Ball will end up looking like Mei Raiden from Honkai? I think so. Do you want her to look like Mei Raiden? I do. Well, she doesn't have to look exactly like her, but I think she will have similar features. I actually did a whole video on this where, you know, I think she's going to look very similar to HOT from Honkai. But no, I think if she had a unique character design, that would be awesome as well. I don't think she needs to look exactly like Mei. Maybe have similar features, but she could definitely be unique, and that would be cool. Prince, he goes and they go and ask, hey Cody, how's life? Hope you're doing well, bro. Life is good. Life is busy. Life is hectic. As you know, I have a girlfriend, basically a wife, and I have a 2-year-old son, going to be 3 in December, and between all of that, it can be very hectic. I work a full-time job, like I mentioned. I do this on the side, where sometimes, you know, I try and upload daily, sometimes 2 videos a day. That's not very common, but it happens from time to time. So, and then trying to stream as well, trying to work out, clean. It all gets very hectic. I try and balance. I try and keep things organized, but that's not always the case, and it can be tough, but for the most part I'm doing well, man. and for the most part life is good, so thank you, I appreciate it. Hope all is well with you and life is going well with you also. I'm so sorry, I don't even know what your name is, but thank you for asking your question. How do you feel about tower defense games like Arknights, Girls, Frontline, I guess games like that? I think they're cool. They're not something that I'm too drawn to in particular. Like the tower defense game that they had in Genshin Impact, I thought was really, really fun. I wish that was something that they just left in the game as like a side thing that you can do for some more hero wits or more Mora or something of that nature. It's just some rewards you can get from that. Because I really enjoyed that tower defense game. I never played Arknights, I never played Girls Frontline, but that doesn't mean I won't. It's just not something that I'm necessarily drawn to per se. But the one for Genshin Impact was tons of fun, so thank you for that question. The Airshare of Chairs. Cody, do you plan on making content about other RPG games like Returning the Punishing Gray Raven or like Monster Hunter, stuff like that? Yeah, I definitely do. I mentioned this in a previous question asked, but I definitely do. Punishing Gray Raven 100% is on the radar. We're going to be doing content on that. But I don't know how much like gacha games per se that I'm going to be doing, as I'm starting to lean away from those, just because, you know, the money that you have to put into it, and if you want to keep up with the content you have to invest more money into it. It's perfectly fine for me to have like 1 or 2, but like going beyond that is not something I can really keep up with personally. Like Genshin Impact already costs so much. Honkai, I actually stopped even in Honkai. I can't remember the last time I really, like, oh no, it was pretty recent, but like when I went hard in Honkai, it's been quite some time. So to keep up with gacha games, it's just not something that I really want to do anymore. So Punishing Gray Raven I will definitely be doing, but I'll probably be more free to play there. Maybe every once in a while do something, but definitely other AAA games like Biomutant, like Scarlet Nexus, and other RPG games that'll be coming down the pipeline. Super excited for, and I want to start bringing more games like that to the channel. So Monster Hunter I never got into. I wish I did. I feel like it's too late for me. But other brand new games, yes, 100%, definitely. Hey Zuzu, my man Zuzu, what's your favorite movie? I don't think I have one, Zuzu, to be quite honest with you. There's tons of movies that I really enjoy, but I can't say I have a favorite one per se. Like I love Man on Fire. I love The Last Samurai. Obviously, you know, typical ones like The Matrix. But I can't say I have a favorite one per se. I don't think I would be able to nail down a favorite movie specifically, just because there's so many good ones, and it would be hard for me to really nail down one that I specifically like. But those are just a few off the top of my head. Troy, I love the movie Troy. Yeah, there's a lot. there's a lot. John Wick was a really good one. The Replacements. Yeah, but I couldn't nail down one. I couldn't nail down a favorite one. And then Zuzu also asked, what's your favorite type of food, like Italian, Mexican, Chinese, Thai, etc.? I love all of those. I'm really big into pasta, so I love Italian food. I love pasta. Really, really love pasta. I love hibachi, so like Japanese food. I love sushi. I love Thai food. I love my curry. Chinese. Yeah, I love it all. I don't think I would be able to nail one down for that either. I like them all, so I would have to say Italian, Thai, and Japanese probably is probably my most favorites. But thank you for the question, Zuzu. Kurugani, which country do you want to travel to the most and why? That's a great question. Japan has always been high on my list. I've always been into the culture, always been into the food, always been into everything that Japan has to offer when it comes to things like their anime, things like their culture, and just visiting that country specifically would be, it's on my bucket list, something that I definitely want to do. But there are tons of other ones that I would love to visit. England is high on my priority list. Like a lot of countries in Europe, I would be very, very interested in visiting. I love to travel, so I couldn't nail down one, but I think if you force me to pick one, it would probably be Japan. Like if you force me to pick one, it would probably be Japan. Thank you, Kurugani. Sage, what's your dream house and or property? I don't think I have a dream house per se. I have an idea of what I would like. And I would like a place with a lot of land and obviously a very nice house. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. Doesn't have to be anything that is over the top, but I have something in mind. I can't really describe it. It's hard to describe. And property, I would just like to have, you know, land. I don't like people being on top of me. I'm in a situation right now where I have people on top of me, and it's not fun. So I would like space. I'm very a person that likes their space, even though I'm very confined in this area here. But thank you, Sage. Autumn, thank you for the question, Autumn. Is YouTube a hobby, or do you plan on making this a full-time job once you hit a certain milestone in followers/subs? That's a really good question, Autumn. And I might have asked this previously, not in this video, but in another video. YouTube right now is very much a hobby, just because I don't make enough to make it a full-time job. But if I'm being honest with you and 100% transparent, this is something that I definitely would like to make a full-time job. This is something that I would love to make as what I do for a living, because this is what I'm passionate about. This is what I love to do. I love to interact with you guys. I love to create content. I love playing games, and playing games with you guys is tons of fun. This is what I'm passionate about. This is what I look forward to doing each and every day, rather than my actual job that I do. I actually am not fond of my actual job. And I think that's why I work so hard at this, and I think that's why even when I'm tired, even when I don't feel like it, I feel the need to make content for you guys, because you guys deserve it. With all the support you've given me for as long as this channel's been open, that's definitely the goal. That's definitely the goal, and I speak to this. I talk about this with my girlfriend a lot. That this is what I want to be doing as a full-time job, as a career. It's not something that's feasible right now, but hopefully in the future, it will be, and I'm working towards that each and every day, and trying my best to do that. And I think doing this Q&A is definitely a step in that direction, because when it comes to this channel, it's always about, and it's always been about, creating a place that people can come and feel accepted. I feel like they're a part of a family, a second family. That's why whenever anybody, you know, subscribes or becomes a member, I always say welcome to the FBG family. I know a lot of people say that, and it's pretty cliche, but you know, it's what I truthfully mean when I say that. And anybody that I've, interacted with within DMs or personal message, Autumn, you may be able to attest to this. I always say that you guys can come to me and talk to me about anything. I always say, don't be afraid to, message me if you need anything. And I really mean that. And I always tell you guys, especially the mods, you guys know this. I always consider you guys my family, and I always have. And I appreciate each and every one of you. And that's the type of community that I'm trying to build here on the channel. And I think that's the type of community that is able to grow. And that type of growth be not only authentic, but is one that can last and be something in the future, right? So that's what I'm trying to build, and that's what I'm trying to create with you guys. And to everybody that's subbed, to everybody that's a member, to everybody that's joined the Discord or supported me, thank you guys so much. You're helping me to make that a reality, even though it's a slow process. I'd rather it be a slow process getting there and making sure that we're creating something special rather than get there quickly but it not be authentic and it be a community built on not being authentic and not being true, it being a fake thing that was built in a sense. I don't have the right words to go ahead and describe it, but yeah, thank you, Autumn, for that. I appreciate that.